Hello, I'm John with Roadkill Incorporated, and today I'm going to demonstrate removing a hard drive and memory and also the battery from a Unibody MacBook Pro, the model with the battery integrated. This is a 13-inch MacBook Pro Unibody. However, I believe this demonstration also applies to the 15 and most likely the 17-inch version. I haven't seen a 17 yet. So anyway, like I said, this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro unibody with the integrated battery. As you can tell, the battery is not visible like it is on previous models because it's inside the machine. Taking the back case off is very simple on these. As you can see, the screw holes along the edges. I have already taken the screws out just so that you don't have to sit there and watch me do that. There are 4 along the bottom, 4 along the top, and some on the sides. The 15 and 17s I think vary a little bit. They may have more screws. You want to take note, some of the screws are longer than the others, so make sure you pay attention to which holes you take the screws out of. The longer screws on this model go in the 3 by the hinge, and then there's a smaller one in the corner. Also, the screws go in at kind of an angle, so you just want to bear that in mind when you're putting the screws back in the machine. Once screws are out, you can pull the back of the case off. If it's the first time you're doing that, there might be a little bit of resistance, but it basically pops right off. So here is the very well designed internals of the 13-inch MacBook Pro unibody. You've got the hard drive, you've got the battery, you've got your memory, fan, optical drive. First thing you should do, and you don't have to do this, but it's a good idea, because the battery is internal to the machine, it is potentially providing power to the logic board while you're working on the machine. So before you disconnect memory, hard drive, or anything, it makes sense to disconnect the battery. The battery connector is right here, and you can basically just pull it up like that and disconnect it. So just to be safe, it makes sense to disconnect that plug before you start. And again, you probably wouldn't do any damage if you didn't do that, but it's just to be safe. So anyway, here's the hard drive. Very simple to remove. As you can see here, there's a little plastic bar with 2 screws in it. All you do, I've already unscrewed them, but once you unscrew those, the bar comes right out. Just a note on the screws, these are Phillips head. Those are as well. So you just need a very small Phillips head screwdriver. Anyone doing these kind of repairs should probably invest in a good screwdriver kit with multiple heads, the complete Torx selection, that kind of thing. It will really serve you well when doing these kinds of repairs. So anyway, all you do is pull up the plastic tab and your hard drive comes out. It's connected on this ribbon cable. Let's see if I can pull it off with one hand. There you go. And there's your hard drive. These little mounting pieces are in the holes in each corner. So if you're switching to a different hard drive, definitely we need to take these out to put them into the replacement hard drive. These are Torx, small Torx. So like I said, again, it pays to have a good screwdriver set. In addition, there's this little plastic flap. You could probably pull that off and hopefully it would be able to adhere to the replacement drive. So there is the hard drive. Really not much to that. It's a serial ATA hard drive. You know that because of these plastic pieces as opposed to pins on a parallel hard drive. Anyway, that is the hard drive. The battery is very simple as well. However, Apple does not want you to remove these batteries, so they use a little, they call it like a tri-lobe, I believe, screw, a special proprietary screw here and here. Um, if you don't have the right screwdriver, you can't get those screws out and you can't take out the battery. I've found if you get a really good screwdriver kit with lots of heads, like I said, there are often screwdrivers that will serve the function, even though they aren't technically made for Apple products. So, that's just kind of something I've found. When you do have these two screws out, you simply lift the battery, and it's just that simple. Please note the tri-lobe, I think that's what they're called, screws are different from what you'll find in the 15 and I believe 17-inch version. Those have five-pointed screw heads. So instead of 3 points, you have 5. And I believe they also have a little center pin. So even more proprietary than the 3-point screws in the 13-inch MacBook Pro. So third, we have the memory. The memory is very easy to remove. Basically, you have two little arms that are sticking into the sides of the memory, holding it in. Basically, just want to press those aside, and it pops out just that easily. There is a second one that is already popped out. You basically do the same thing. There's another little lever below. Push that in, and then a little tricky to do that with one hand. So then it pops up, and if I had two hands, I would grab either side and pull that out. Reinserting the memory is very easy. Just make sure, the basic trick is to make sure that you take note of where the slot is right there, and make sure to line that up with the slot. You can barely see it on the little plastic piece in the slot. You basically push the memory in. Don't apply too much pressure, but make sure it's all the way in, and then press down. And your memory is in its slot. So again, very easy. The battery, very easy. The memory and the hard drive could not be simpler. This is a very nice design. Apple's done a great job with this one. I can't tell you how much easier this design is to work on than even the aluminum MacBook Pros that came before it. Very simple, very well done. That is pretty much it. I hope this was useful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.